need to hold it. Let's do a Goon Squad intro. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel.
What do?
No, I need to do a merch thing first, don't I?
What did they say?
Hi guys.
Ding, son.
Yeah, ding, yeah. Anyway, hi guys. Welcome back to the channel. This is the original BIG ISSUES headquarters. So, this is my car and this is the BIG ISSUES hub dyno. Obviously, as you know, we recently, well, Darren recently purchased and Ben purchased a hub dyno. So they were having some problems with it and blah blah blah. So they used my car as a bit of as a test dummy at the time. Now, myself, other people, GCM, George has driven this car, Richard drove it, my brothers drove, blah blah, and they said it felt wicked. But when we had it on a dyno, it did miserable. Very, very miserable. Should have been, on paper anyway, it is a 500 brake horsepower car with a hybrid turbo, RS hybrid turbo. Should have done, I don't know, 450 plus to 500. Well, it didn't. The best it did was 355. I like your look there, Richard. That was 355 at about 26 psi, which is probably over what it should have been, but about right maybe. So we did some investigation. We looked at a number of things and basically couldn't find anything wrong with it at all. We were pretty much stumped at this point. So the car came off the dyno. I left it. I was pretty much down at that point. So at the end of that day, we took it off the dyno. It was pretty, I don't know, disheartened maybe, because it feels quick. Everyone that's driven it have said it feels and it goes really well, but it didn't. So about 2 weeks later, did a load of tests, did a smoke test, pressure test, did change the spark plugs, the coil pack, a lot. We put it back on and it did the exact same. So we knew at that point that basically the dyno was pretty much spot on. But the car wasn't. So back in, when the last time we went to Ford Fair? 2019 or something? Yeah, 2019. So the day after Ford Fair, my ECU failed. Getting pretty common on these now, they're getting old. So we cloned another ECU onto it, put it on, felt alright, blah blah blah. We thought maybe that when the ECU was cloned that maybe it didn't put the file onto it or something like that, because it just didn't make any sense the power it made. So we put the tune back onto it, did the exact same thing. At that point I was like, the only thing this could be realistically is the turbo. So took the intake pipe off, put a camera down it, and it looked on the camera that maybe something got in there. So I was like, right, okay, let's take the turbo apart, bugger it. So took the turbo off, looked at it, and it didn't look like a bolt or a screw went in there, but there was like signs of damage on the side, which we'll show you in a minute. So left it for another week, and then I split the exhaust side on it and ruined basically. The manifold is cracked, it's ruined. So yeah, so that's where it is now. So I was lucky enough that, as everybody does, had a spare RS turbo lying around. We put that on and it's definitely 1,000 times better now. It pulls like an absolute train. It does actually feel like it should be 400 horsepower, which we'll find out soon. You know, we'll get it back on the dyno at some point. So yeah, nice bit of money down the pan, I think. Well, I don't know. We're going to send it off and. So I'm going to send I'm going to send the turbo off. I'm going to see what they can do with it, to see if they can repair it or we'll get a new manifold or something like that. I don't know, but you can't actually buy the manifolds themselves, so I don't know what to do yet. So no, I'm not doing big turbo. I'm not doing that. So here's the turbo, got it off. First of all, stripped it down, and then I took this side off to have a look to see maybe what was wrong with it. So let's do that now, I'll show you. So there she is. Now, at first we thought that maybe something's got in there and caused a lot of damage. We don't think it did. The only thing that we can see is these little marks on here. But I think that's part of the wheel, because it's quite consistent on all of them. And I think if something got in there, it would cause a lot of damage on these actual blades here, to say that, you know, a bolt or a nut or something had got in here. But you know, there's nothing really. There's, you know, it's, my personal opinion is that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it just looked bad on the camera when we put it down there on the inspection camera, which hasn't got the best lens on it, I would say. But it was only later on when I split the actual cord away from the housing. So let's have a look at that bad boy. So the actual wheel and everything like that, they all look pretty perfect. Well, possibly perfect, I don't know. But there's no play in it, there's nothing. It's the core, I think, is pretty okay. But hopefully we can see it on the there's a big ass crack down the middle. I'll take some pictures and I'll get some good close-ups of that. But the bigger issue is along this housing bit here, there's about 10 cracks. See them? There's about 10 cracks all the way around, so obviously as that gets hot it expands and it's not doing what it should be doing. There's also what appears to be a crack on the outside as well. Can't really see it, it's quite crap to picture, but basically, yeah. So anybody out there with an RF turbo manifold, please hit me up. Please hit me up, because I just can't find them. Can't find them, can't buy them, they don't exist. And I need one. So yeah, that's the story of my hybrid turbo. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope maybe this has been some help to some people who've had maybe this issue before, or who's having an issue like this. It could quite possibly be your manifold cracked or something like that on your turbo. So I didn't really have a lot of symptoms. It felt quick, it felt torquey, it felt really good, but it just didn't make the power that it should have. So that's the only way I think you would know, is if you did this sort of spec of build of a stage 4 plus car, and it just didn't make power. I think when you've gone to, you know, spark plugs and you're looking at the map and you're looking at this, you're looking at that, quite possibly could be your turbo's cracked. And my brother Ken, he's had the same situation on his RS turbo as well, cracked. So I think this could be becoming a bit of an issue, a common issue maybe now, because they're getting old, they're getting hot, they're getting... So yeah, like, subscribe, thank you very much, bye.